You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Let's roll then. Let's play the other clip. I want to talk about a little bit about that one. Let's go with that one.
I think everybody has their time at the top.
Absolutely.
And everybody's time ends.
Absolutely.
And it's just a matter of how it's going to end. When you're on top too long and people get tired of seeing you winning, people start making people.
This is unfortunately very true.
Yeah.
Niggas get tired of seeing niggas winning. It happens in everything, in sports and whatever. Niggas get tired. Like, all right, fucking niggas is winning too much. I want to see somebody else win. It happens.
What's the whole line? It's hard being Bobby Brown. To be Bobby then, you got to be Bobby now.
And people get mad at me for having supreme confidence in me. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
Don't have to imagine.
He preached it to the choir.
Yeah. Don't have to imagine.
To the choir.
Because I'm going to tell you why. Because people like to project their personal shit on you.
That's a fact.
They could never do the shit that people do. They could never. When they look at athletes and great shit that Michael Jordan has done, they look at that as miracle shit. Like, I could never do that. You know what I think? I think if I trained hard enough in my career, I could have been fucking Michael Jordan. That's how I think. It may sound nuts to all of y'all in this room.
Nah, I don't.
But not me. And that's how I'm able to keep fucking growing and striving and being. And a lot of people don't have that. And I say it all the time when I do talks, man. I do fucking talks to business conferences, forums, all that shit. They sit me down, nigga. I talk to fucking real shit. And you know what I tell them? I wish I could bottle up my confidence and sell it. Because this is what people need.
Right.
They need that. And they don't have it. And for whatever reason, I know successful people that are hugely successful that don't have self-confidence. And I'll be like, how did you get this far? You will know who they are when they fucking face adversity. You'll know who these people are when they face adversity. And that's facts.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, look. Put that camera on me, Val.
That's hard.
Let me say something.
When he said that people get tired of you winning, understand this, and I'm just being truthful. I got on Facebook, I think, in 2008. Now, before I was on Facebook, I had all these websites. You know, I'm gonna go back to this Wayback Machine and find that because I heard somebody talking about that and pull up, you know what people doing now on Instagram. And I want, I'm gonna put his name out here, Marquise Jones. And I want you to go in the comments and talk about this because you done told me this on many times that between, I guess, 2001 or something, or 2000, I mean, the technology and the stuff that I was doing and that our team was doing with websites and videos, I had podcast stuff before podcasts. I can go back and look at some of the videos that I was interviewing all these leaders in a podcast studio. I was renting studio, I had cameras, I had professional cameras, Robbie is one of the baddest dudes in the world when it comes to editing and I had all that. At all the events Robbie was coming around, and I did that for years before even Facebook. Now, okay, I got to get older. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy says, there's a window that you're winning. At one point, Boys the Men was killing the game. At one point, Jay-Z was killing the game. At one point, Diddy was killing the game. You can name everybody that had their window of opportunity. All you gotta do is go watch what's that show where they show like Behind the Music or something, and you see where the Barcades had 5 years of winning. All the other groups that had their time. You're gonna have that. You're not gonna win all the time. It's a window of time that you have. And people get tired of seeing you win. because if you go on my Facebook page from 2008 to 2000 whatever, I was always winning. Now, was I a billionaire? No. Was I making $2 million a year? No. But I was making more than 95% of the country or 96% of the country every freaking year. And it was, I wasn't even bragging about it, but it was out there. And it's still kind of, people still kind of, so folks get tired of you doing that, man. I've never said anything about this, but I know how some people look at, and try to see you down, and they're glad that they might think you down, even though you might not be down. But if they think, because they're not trying to help you, they are freaking tired of you winning. And it just happens. That's just how it happens. That's why people all got to keep reinventing themselves and doing other things. I mean, this podcast, I can promise you in 2 years, this podcast gonna be really popping. Now, it's a lot of people don't want to see it pop. They tired of that. Tired of Tony doing this. They want to see me drown. I know that. But I can promise you that. But you got to reinvent yourself and keep moving. There's a window that you're gonna have. Now the other stuff he talked about was the belief and all that. Man, I'm gonna let y'all kind of talk on that. But when I saw that, like he said, you can can this stuff and sell it because people need that belief. I've been teaching that whole kind of stuff since 1996. Man, I was a top guy at AT&T for 3 or 4 years. The Atlanta Journal newspaper. Now I acted fool there. Now that was I disappeared for but I've been winning a long time, and people don't want to, All right, you take the camera off me. Go. I had my rant when I saw.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times people don't even need to know you in order for them to not want you to win. And what they deem as you being above, and that's their issue, but they try to make it your issue. And so people look at you, and I'll talk about me being a doctor. Oh my gosh. People make all kinds of determinations just based on that, and it's their problem. I can't do anything about that. Like, I didn't take your job because you didn't go to medical school. You couldn't have my job. You can't do what I do. And I think that people come with, it's just so rampant. This is the majority of our population they don't have self-confidence. They don't believe in themselves. And someone that does have confidence, they want to get you. And I'm talking about at every level, people want to get you because they don't think that you should have what you have. You shouldn't be who you are, because they don't feel good enough. Now they're making it seem as if you're the one that's putting them down, and most people carry that. And that's unfortunate, because I'm not sure that you can teach confidence. I think that you can experience to build confidence. I'm not sure that it's something that you can teach, but you can model it.
Wow.
You can model it, but I don't think you can teach somebody that, and you can't tell it to them enough.
Right. Look, Lou just talked about that in the interview we did with him about dope boys. That's the problem with the dope boys. They don't have confidence. Okay. And can you really teach it to them? Because their confidence is how many cars they got or how many. They don't really have it.
No.
Your turn, Luke. Oh, okay. I know your story. I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to be better. When you get to watch yourself, I see how much I get excited and I overtalk. I don't like it. So I've been practicing, waiting my turn, saying my piece, shut the fuck up. So that's what I was practicing. So thank you. But it's so much. Listen, that Ja Rule right there, that gave you a whole different respect for Ja. So confidence. It's either in you or it's not. I believe it is wickedness It is evil. And this is a problem with society. Our biggest problem with society is that we don't understand what the problem is. When you fighting a false problem, that's why we ain't getting no results. We throw a lot of money away in a bunch of bullcrap. We are promoting wickedness when we promote people that have not put in the work. There are certain principles to everything. Everything is designed to work according to a principle of a law. You're winning in sales, Mr. Fleming, came because you followed the rules. You was up 8 in the morning prospecting. You wasn't 8 up in the morning like Brian Tracy said. You wasn't up getting a cup of coffee, talking to John, seeing what Wendy Williams talked about, reading the newspaper article. You was up calling. What's up? Calling, prospecting, calling, going to conferences, reading, improving yourself. If you keep doing that, you can't help but win because you're going to learn how to win. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to become a habit. It's going to become a habit. Then once it becomes a habit, that implementation is going to happen spontaneously. Then it's going to feel easy. That's why everybody that ever figured anything out always say it's easy once you figure it out. Getting there is hard because of the discipline it takes to stay in the principles. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the reason why people get tired of you winning, it's not they get tired of you winning. It's because when they see you win, what they know intrinsically is, Tony ain't no better than me.
Yes.
You spending your time better. God gave you a certain amount of time in the bank. He incremented 24 for everybody. You doing more with your 24 than they are. And they know that. They hate you because you make them feel the conviction that I could have did that. I could have been a high school star. I could have been a prime king. Everybody, I could have. I would have. They ain't no better than me. I had more talent than them. I showed him that. But they know what you're doing with your time. They hate what you're doing with your time because they refuse, and that's why I say it's wickedness, to help somebody who ain't a winner. This is what I tell them first class. I go in. I'm going to go in, Lord willing, TCC. I'll be at Trumbull Camp the 15th of September for my first program, first class there. I'm trying to say half y'all can leave. It's going to probably be too many people in the room. I'm only here for the exception. If you're a loser, I ain't here for you. I don't even be playing with you, man. Because this is how the principles work. So why would I take my time, resources, and efforts and pour them into a person who you ain't got it? It ain't in you. It ain't there. What's in you gonna come out, like I said, in adversity. When the pressure is put on, who you really are is gonna always shine through. That's when you know a person. When they go through the hard times, they go through the tough times, they burn out, they crash out. You make a decision, one of the greatest decisions. Do you quit? Do you give up? Adhering to the principles and not giving up is the secret to success. Not talent. People gifted. You know how many people, like I say, in prison talk better than me, way smarter than me, understand stuff way better than me. People don't know. It takes me a long time to understand stuff. That's what they don't get. That's why I need all these books. Like I say, I always say somebody else might be able to read 3 books, take off, and be like, dang. I need all these. And probably some more that I ain't aware of it.
Yeah.
It takes me a long time to get concepts, but for one reason, if I get the concept, I understand it. I'm mastering. It's my goal to master the concept. So I'm sure to break that and put in my foundation. And it's just, it's so much there. I'm gonna leave it at that because we got another one.
Right.
It's gonna be great too.
When you
so much there with
two things. I always said I needed the books. My head was jacked up. If somebody else can go out here and win without reading and just go win, go do it. If you can do that, now here's the problem though. A lot of times people, bring that camera back over here again. A lot of times people think because they can win without reading that everybody else can do that. Now, if they can, more power to them. Let them go. Without listening to audios. It's like a person who started a 12-step program to stop drinking, and they might say, well, I don't need the meetings. I'm just going to rough it out. But you can't tell everybody else they don't need the meetings. You can't tell everybody else they don't need to read. You can't tell everybody, because for me, I would have been messed up if I wouldn't read. I needed those books, man. Every book I bought, I read and highlighted because my head was all jacked up, man. I needed that. Now, back to the point that you said about the work, man. When I took the job at AT&T, about 3 or 4 months later, they went to this Lucid technology thing. And so they kind of gave you an offer of, and this is an abbreviated version of,
you get straight commission, which is a bigger commission, or you get the salary and the commission. And it was 10 of us in the office, 9 of them, 8 of them took that. I took the straight commission. All right. A few months later, they shut down that. And so those guys, they sunk because they did that. But for me, I had to win. And I started winning. I was winning every month because I'm going to tell you something. When you said that I work, look, I got an apartment right across from the office. And it was, I started off in Montgomery, Alabama. I got an apartment over there off of Perry Hill Road, which was right across from the office. And I used to come over to the office early in the morning to get on the computer to try to find leads. Now, what I stumbled across was at 6 o'clock in the morning, the technicians would be there. These are the people who repaired the phone, who installed the new equipment. I didn't know that. And most of the salespeople didn't know that. At 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, it'll be 8 or 9 technicians in the back there. Guess what I started doing? I started bringing them breakfast. And at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming in there, bringing them all breakfast. And I'm sitting there talking to them, building a relationship. Guess what they did? When they were out in the field, they would call me at the office. Hey, Tony, they got this Merlin system over here, man. This thing here broke down. You need to come over here and try to sell them something. I had automatic leads just from feeding these guys. Now, I would come feed them at 5:36. Then I would leave after I get on the computer a little bit, go back to my apartment, maybe take a little nap or something, come back over there at 8:30 or 9. I never told the reps in there that I was in there feeding these guys. We built a relationship to where I was getting so many leads from them. And there's another way I actually found some stuff in the system called embedded base, where AT&T was renting phones to these people for 30, 40 years. And it was kind of a little embedded base that was hid. I found it. And so I started, selling them leases and keeping the same price. And all they had to do was sign off on it. And so I made big money but my big money really came from the technicians and buying them breakfast and the repair guys. Man, when I started winning, these guys would be clapping for me when I come in there. They were like, man, I know you're going to get you a gator suit or something. You know what I'm saying? I need to see something, man. These guys were funny too, man. They wasn't like they were just, man, I know you, man, you winning all the time, man. You got to come stepping up in here and let them know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the reps didn't know that my leads was coming from the repair guys. These guys would call me all the time. And not only that, by me buying them breakfast and becoming friends with them, I could literally call them when I'm trying to make a sale and put them on the phone, and these guys would sell it for me. They would just, talk about the Merlin system, so that work that I put in, and I think about it all the time. I was doing that all the time, man. Every company I was with, I was always just putting the time in, just doing it, man, going for it.
Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.